Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. I'm your host, David Ward, with the New Vision program at Goodwill. It's a pleasure to have you here. And oh, my chair's creaking, my bad. You might notice that our sound is a little different, and that is because I am in the process of moving our studio rig and setup all back to my house, where we're going to be recording. That's my new recording studio, more or less. And so it's good to have you all with us. This week we're going to be talking about a relatively new feature on the Amazon Echo. I'm not too sure exactly how well or how new it is because it's very undocumented. Maybe that's because I don't know what it's called exactly. I've had to make up a name for it. But it's been around. I've seen people talking about it for at least the last month or two. And it probably came out around the holiday season, and maybe it was being A/B tested and not fully deployed at that point. But it looks like it's deployed now because I found it. And it is called Follow Updates. We're going to call it Mode or Feature. I don't know. Until I read something that says more professional or more documented on Amazon's site, that's what we're going to call it. Follow Updates Mode. So you have a situation where you want to keep up with a celebrity, a news item, the Dallas Cowboys, whatever it may be. This is going to be your mechanism, you news hounds, to keep up with that kind of stuff. And as a bonus, we're going to mention a podcast that I was recently interviewed on, and maybe even have some little clips from that podcast. It's a longer form podcast all about the Amazon Echo as well, with the host Robin Christofferson and Sean Priest, and it's called The Echo Show. But before we get into this material in any sort of depth, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, as we often do. And then what are we going to do? Then we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello again and welcome back to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you with us this week. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about a relatively new feature I found by happenstance, just looking through the A-Lady app on my Echo, or on my iPhone. I was looking through the A-Lady app on my iPhone, and it's under the More features, under the bottom right. It used to be a traditional menu that just went up and down vertically, and that's how you got to settings. But now they've kind of columnized it, and it's got icons, and this thing is listed right there as Follow Updates. And I was like, what is Follow Updates? I've never heard of this before. And so if you delve into that, you can get a little more information. Now, if you've never configured this before, you're not going to see nothing really in there. It's going to have a little blurb, but there's a gear icon up in the top right. If you go to it, it will give you a much more in-depth description. But first off, let's test the few verbal commands that I could seem to decipher that you can do. So if you have an Echo in hearing distance of me, I might just give you a second to mute its ears. So give you a second to do that. By the way, our new listeners, we'd like to welcome you. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill, and you'll find our podcast are little nuggetized episodes that come out once a week, and we have over 100,000 listens to our 5 seasons of episodes. And for our returning listeners, we're glad you're here as well. I'm sure you've already muted your microphone by now, so let's give this a try. Alexa, follow Tom Cruise.
David, you're now following Tom Cruise.
All right.
And he will appear in your follow updates.
All right, so excellent. So let's open up my phone. Now, this isn't perfectly mic'd, but I'm going to turn on the screen reader on my phone that allows the text to be read, and that way you guys can kind of hear what's going on. So I'm going to kick that bad boy on. All right, so we're going to go. I'm already in the follow updates section panel.
Follow updates.
All right.
The 5th of February. Heading.
Okay, it has a date stamp.
NFL finds Eagles Brandon Graham.
Okay, so I've been following football people. Let's see if we got.
NFL finds Eagles. Nicole Kidman took Scientology. The 3rd of February. Heading. Super Bowl LVI injury report. The 5th of February. Tom Cruise will pause his film production to attend.
So there's the Tom Cruise thing. So exactly as we followed him. You can verbally tell it to unfollow a person or an item or news item as well. Now here in the gear icon in the top right, this will give us a little more description of what's going on. So I'm going to go to that. We're going to go to settings.
Manage the sports teams, celebrities, and financial instruments that appear on your follow updates, home screen, and widgets.
Okay, so that kind of gave you the little description right there.
Other people in your household may see updates based on your selection.
So other people may see your updates.
For a topic, unfollow it below.
As it mentions there,
Oh. Set your favorites under Alexa preferences in settings.
is it's going to do notifications. So I'm not too sure exactly how that's going to be surfaced. And one of the things of the forums I saw online, somebody was saying they were pretty much getting notifications all day long, like 50 notifications. So I don't know if they followed a lot of things or was it a particularly busy news topic they were following or celebrity or whatever. Plus, I don't know. So I don't know. That might have been the early testing of this feature, and maybe now they consolidated into like one announcement every day, kind of like your weather notification you sometimes get at the end of the evening, at night. Tomorrow it's going to rain or whatever. Hey guys, so a little post-production note here. I've been digging in this a little bit, experimenting with some things, and I think I have a better vibe for this. I think this feature predominantly will surface in a visual way, either on the Echo Show line of devices or have to be surfaced on the A-Lady app. I'm not too sure about the auditory component, although there were people online talking about being pestered by notifications, but I haven't experienced that yet. But notice this. Alexa, what's my updates?
You can find your follow updates under the More tab in the Alexa app. If you want news, ask me to play your flash briefing.
Okay, see, isn't that kind of interesting? It's suggesting that you have to go to the app to kind of get it. So I'm thinking the app, and as the little under the gear icon said, that it would be seen by other family members and under widgets or under the home section. So I think that's either probably on the Echo Show line of devices. Now it may give you an audible notification. I don't know. I did also see that under notifications, under settings, under celebrities, finance, and on something else, I think sports, you get the same dialogue interface as you would. So I think all those things are part of the same thing. Whether you can bifurcate a difference between celebrities and sports and that auditory component that I'm not convinced is really see how it unfolds. All right, so let's go back to the podcast and we'll give you our bonus today. So very, very, very cool. All right, now I mentioned that we were going to have a bonus feature today, and that was that I was recently interviewed on the Echo Show podcast with Robin Christofferson, and also the other host is Sean Priest. Now, Sean is currently out of commission, and we wish him well and hope he feels better soon due to a recent injury. But Robin was good enough to have me on the podcast. Now, it's a much longer form podcast than ours, and they often have skills or games they face off with each other, trivia, and they do ratings and stuff like that. Is it 2 thumbs up? is it 2 thumbs down? That kind of thing. And they're a real hoot if you haven't heard their podcast yet. But I went on there, and me and Robin talked about home automation. We talked about things I'm doing around the house with my Echo. We talked about skills and things that I do most and things that he does most over in the United Kingdom with his Amazon Echo. In fact, I put a little segment together so you can just hear a few clips, and let's go to that and have a listen right now.
Are you planning on putting a whole turkey in there?
I don't think so, but yeah, but you can control the lights, the fan, or exhaust fan, and also, of course, the microwave, all with your voice. Now, I'll tell you the one that might blow your mind. This is super simple, but the coolest thing that it's really helpful to me, may not be that helpful to anybody else.
Okay, then. That's the top takeaway of this show, I think. I don't think we can top that. Alexa, what's the temperature in Faith's room?
The Faith's room temperature is 17.3 degrees.
Yeah, there you go. So that's,
Wow.
I don't know what that Alexa, open Starfinder.
Starfinder.
Resuming where you left off.
You agree. Otal hands you the drive.
Okay, well, so that was a real hootenanny there, and I hope you enjoyed that little clip. By all means, go to your Echo and play the latest episode of the Echo Show podcast, and you can hear the whole segment right there. Well, we've reached the end of our episode. If you'd like to find out more about me, check me out at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision. That's all lowercase and no spaces. If you have a thought or suggestion, by all means, reach out on Twitter or Facebook to Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, or drop an email to info@goodwillvalleys.com. And you could probably reach out to us in other ways too, but those are the big ways that you could definitely reach out with a thought or suggestion for a future episode. Well, you know what time it is. It's time to turn the ears back on your Echo, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. Let me tell you a bit more. Let me put on my official sounding voice. Ahem, ahem. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Phew. Thanks for listening.